What's up, everybody? This is your boy Elite Killer, and I am back with another build video for you guys. Now, I know when I've been streaming for the last couple of weeks, everyone has been asking what build I'm using, and I haven't really given you much information on what I've been using. That's for a number of reasons that I'm not going to get into. But so the build that I am using is the hybrid build. So it's similar to my last build video. So if you watch my last build video on the hybrid that I did before a long while ago, it's got the same sort of outline as that build. Now there is some changes within the build and some changes within the stats there, which we'll go into. If you wanted to see my previous build, it's still a good build. It's not nothing wrong with that build. It still works fine. If you want to see that one, it will be in the top right hand corner now if you click that button. But getting into this build, guys, this is an absolute monster in the DZ. This is good for running solo or in a team. So let's get started. So on the chest piece, we are running a vigorous chest piece. Now this vigorous chest piece is rolled for firearms. So it's got 1271 firearms. The armor is not the best. It should be higher. But if you've got one with a higher armor, then that's brilliant. On that, I want health, skill haste, and ammo capacity. Okay, so obviously the skill haste, this build is going to run 40% skill haste. So that is really important in any build now, is skill haste. You get your heals back quicker and you get your pulse back quicker. Now ammo capacity, obviously, so you can hold more ammo so you don't have to keep on going to restock. With the prototype mods, I'm running 2 electronics mods with skill haste on. Again, hitting that skill haste cap of 40%. With the mask, I am running a refreshed mask. Now, I run refreshed on pretty much most of my builds. Refreshed really does help you out when you're in that last segment. So all healing is improved by 30% when in the last segment of your health. That includes med kits, that includes your heal. It helps you out so much. So if I get to that last segment and pop my heal, it takes me up to and gives me a overheal as well. Now on this, it's rolled for electronics, 1264 electronics. I could roll it a bit higher. Again, the armor's not the greatest, so if you've got a higher refresh mask, that would be great. The major attribute, I've put critical hit chance. Now really, with the mask, it's open. 3.5% crit hit chance is probably not going to make much difference to me. Because I'll show you later on what my pulse is going to put out for crit hit chance anyway. So really, that's not going to make a difference. You could put enemy armor damage on there, skill power, any of those, all resistance, any of those you can put on there. But I've just put crit hit chance on this one because I believe I had to roll the electronics and it already had crit hit chance on. But maybe I'd go for enemy armor damage as well. Try that, see how you get on, especially if you're using the AR. It's going to stack on there. So that'll be fantastic. So yeah, with that, I am using a firearms mod with skill haste again. So noticing all my mods are going to use skill haste, okay? So for my knee pads, now the knee pads are classified, so this is important. Classified knee pads, so you get the higher roll. Now they're rolled for electronics, crit hit damage. Now again, you can really change that. If I wanted to get my toughness up, my toughness seems like it's nothing. But there's time after time I tell people that toughness doesn't really matter. I have ran in the DZ with 220,000 toughness, and I have still been okay. I still get, you'll get dropped just as quick with 220,000 than you do with 290,000. I don't see a big difference in that, so I don't worry about toughness and stamina. Because if you're quick enough at getting your heals back, your toughness doesn't matter because you're going to get a heal anyway. So yeah, that's rolled for crit hit damage. Blind death resistance, increased kill XP, and damage to elites. Damage to elites obviously comes in handy if you are farming or anything like that, or you come across some NPCs. Now with that, I am using an electronics mod with skill haste and then a pulse critical hit chance performance mod. 2% pulse critical hit chance. So going over to the holster. Now the holster is also classified. As you can see, I've got a pretty good Lone Star holster that's classified. I must say now that this cannot be the same gear set as the knee pads. So you're using 2 classified items, but make sure they're not the same. So not 2 Lone Star, not 2 Final Measure, None of that, because it will disregard the MC gloves that we're using. So make sure they're two different sets. So as you can see, I've got these pretty good across the board, and I've got skill haste on there as well to hit that cap. So that's really nothing much to say about that. With the prototype mod, pulse critical hit chance again, a nice 2% more. With the gloves, like I just said, MC gloves, they are rolled for firearms. Now these are not god roll. These are not god roll for me. So they are rolled for firearms, 1263, which is fine, that's not a problem. Assault rifle damage, skill haste, and critical hit damage. Now if I was to swap one thing on there, I would take off the assault rifle damage, and I would put on critical hit chance. But that's me. You know, people like the assault rifle damage. It works fine. You've seen me in the DZ, you've seen how I play it, even on my own solo. You can go up against 2 or 3 players, or 4 players, 5 players, and you're still lasting, you're still surviving, and you're still mounting them quick with this build the way it is. So that's how I run my MC gloves. With that damage increase, it makes a massive difference to how you play and how fast you drop players. It is incredible. I love the MC gloves, I really do. With the backpack, goes without saying, it's going to be specialised. So we're going to roll that for electronics. 1262 electronics, they can go higher, 1271 or 1272. With that, I've rolled it for health and ammo capacity. Again, ammo capacity is important because you don't want to be running out of ammo in the middle of a manhunt or when you're fighting. With the prototype firearms mod, it's 267 firearms and 3% skill haste, again with the skill haste. And then I've got a crit hit chance mod, and then a crit hit damage mod. Now, the bottom one would be crit hit chance, I just ran out of them. So you can put crit hit chance or crit hit damage on that bottom one, it doesn't make a difference, but this is what I'm running. So that is my general gear sets, that's my gear, what I'm actually running. Now let's go into the weapons. So the first weapon we'll go is my primary weapon. This is the one that I always use. If you've seen me on my live streams or you've watched any of my videos, I will be using the lightweight M4, and it will be this one. So my weapon damage is 21.4k. Magazine size 66. It's got 22% enemy armor damage on there, and I'm running responsive, competent, and adept. Now that, to me, is a god roll. That to me is a god roll. Now it's arguable. Do you put deadly in there instead of, you know, maybe instead of responsive? I don't know. And people like unforgiving. To me, this is the god roll. That is all you will need. Adept, competent, responsive. That is it. In any DZ fight, you're gonna be laughing if you've got that. So with my mods, my extended magazine, 120% mag size, 4% crit damage, 3% crit chance. Now, with the large optics, I've got 19% critical hit damage, 2.5% crit hit chance, and a 6% headshot damage. With the muzzle, 19% crit hit damage. If you see, I've got 19% crit hit damage on them all, okay? 19% crit hit damage, 5.5% headshot damage, 3% crit hit chance. And then I've got increased threat on there. Now you can get some suppressors that give you that, but I don't like the suppressors for some reason. I just don't get on with them. It doesn't feel like it puts out that much damage, although it's the same. I don't know if it's just the sound. To me, it doesn't fit right, so I don't like using them. So the underbarrel, again, 19% critical hit damage, reload speed, and stability. That doesn't really matter on the underbarrel, but as long as you've got the 19 crit hit damage, that's all that really matters on all them mods. Now, I've seen some people like Wids and stuff like that with 20% critical hit damage. I am yet to come across one. So if you've got one, send me a photo or do something, or tell me where did you get that. Because I have rolled around 500 of these loud vent breaks, and I have not seen one 20% crit hit damage one. So if you know, comment in the section below and let me know where you get them from, if they even are out anymore. Maybe they're an old thing, but I do not know where Wids and all them players, all them big YouTubers have got them from. I have not got a clue. So yeah, so let me know if you know. Seriously, you're going to be helping me out a lot. So with the secondary, you can have anything as a secondary. I sometimes use a sniper, I sometimes just use my bullfrog, or even another lightweight M4 that I've got there with adept, deadly, and responsive. So as I said earlier, like some people prefer to have deadly in there, so I've got one of those as well. But so just for this, the matter of this, my bullfrog, I've got 18.9k weapon damage, 66 in the round, 21% enemy armor damage, competent, responsive, and then uncomplicated. And this as well, I'm just running pretty much the same mod. So 120% mag size, 4% crit damage and rate of fire, 19% crit hit damage, optimal range and crit hit chance, 19% damage again, accuracy and crit chance. And on the underbarrel, I'm running 18% crit hit damage, reload speed and accuracy, because the 19% one had more stability on it, which affects the bullfrog's weapon damage. So obviously I couldn't use that one. So that's just like I say, you can use anything for that secondary. It's not really important, the secondary. So looking at the stats then. So let's look into the stats. So let's start with first the firearms. 5,618 firearms. You may be thinking, oh, that is so low. That is not going to do anything. That's crap. It's not going to mount anybody. You might be looking at that DPS and thinking, oh, that's really low DPS. Let me tell you something. DPS does not mean anything. Firearms does not mean much. I'm telling you that. It's all about skill power in this 1.7.1. From 1.7 even. It's all about skill power. So 5,618 firearms. Stamina 2,955. I only need 2,800 and something to unlock my talents. So I don't care about the stamina. I really don't. I could drop some more stamina off there. It's not a problem. I've not got any stamina mods on, so I can't actually drop it. But I'd love to just drop it down a little bit more and put some more on the electronics or the firearms. Electronics 7,058 electronics. This is where the build takes its turn. This is what makes the build, is that electronics number. Usually I've run 5,000 electronics, but I've put that up to 7,000 and put my firearms down by 2,000, and it is really effective, guys. I have had so much luck with this build. With the weapon damage, so this is my M4, so 21,387. Crit hit chance is only 12%. But as I say, I'll show you my pulse afterwards, so remember that 12%. Crit hit damage 110%, which is fine. Anywhere 100, 110 to 120 is good. So you're happy with that. Headshot damage doesn't really matter to me with the M4 because it's not PC. You can't spam headshots with the M4 constantly, so it doesn't really matter. Accuracy 0. Stability only 2%. I don't need stability on this. I'm pretty good at I'm pretty good at handling the stability anyway on the M4. I've used it since day one, so that's fine. So I've got some of these reload speed bonuses. All weapon bonus 16%. So the weapon damage bonus comes from the MC gloves. Assault rifle bonus from the gloves as well. Now 15% damage to elites. Again, doesn't really matter. It helps you out with the NPCs, but nothing else. Enemy armor damage 22%. That's just because I've got it on the M4. Like I say, if you had that on your mask, you can get that up to a little bit higher there, which helps you out. Threat is obviously is increased by 41%. Now skill power 228,886 with again 40% skill haste. That is more important than anything. Skill haste. The quicker you can get back them skills, the quicker you can actually heal yourself and get back mounting people with your pulse and heal. Survivability, I don't really look at this. I never really look at these anymore. I used to look at the mitigation in previous updates, but really it doesn't really matter anymore. So 31% mitigation doesn't really matter to me. I don't really care. Health regen, I don't really care again. And none of these really mean anything to me. I don't bother with like burn resistance and all that, because if you're gonna get turreted, you're gonna get turreted. That's it. It doesn't. It doesn't do anything, so in my opinion, but other players do like to max them out, which is fine. So that is my build, guys. Let's take a look now at my skills and then my talents. So first of all, you can see I'm running a concealed pulse. Now with the concealed pulse, it's giving me 28% critical hit chance. So that with that 12% that's already on my weapon, okay, so that makes it 40%. Then the 7% from Adept, 47% crit hit chance every time I pop that pop the pulse, sorry. So that's nearly 50% every single time I pop that pulse. So this is why I don't need critical hit chance rolled on everything. So that's what makes it good. You hitting 1 every 2 bullets is going to be a crit. Now critical hit damage, that was at 110% on my weapon. So add 24% to that, so 134%. That's crazy. That is crazy. The weapon damage is crazy. And that's not even including when I'm using my heal, with my booster shot heal, with more weapon damage. Do you think what it's going to go up? It's crazy. The cooldown is low, 23.5 seconds. That is a good cooldown to have. Now you're probably asking, why do you use concealed? Why not go for a higher, go for the damage pulse? Because I get 28% crit chance, 31.3% crit damage. The reason I do that is because I run solo sometimes, so I want to cancel out their pulse. If they pulse me, I want to cancel that out, because I don't want to be on the receiving end of someone with this same build that's going to absolutely shred me. So that's why. And it takes 2 seconds longer to get it back again if you use the damage one. So going on to my heal, I'll use a booster shot. Now let's go into it. So if I used overdose, yes, I'm going to get 198,000 self heal. That is massive. That's going to put you from 0 to full overheal. Okay, but I don't like that. That doesn't give me anything. What does that do? All that does, 25.8 second cooldown. Fine, that's okay. It's just going to heal me. Let me have the buff. Let me have the buff of the damage. And the damage goes up a lot, guys. It goes up a lot. Now it does drop this down to self-heal 119,000, which you may think is not a lot. But if you remember what we're running a refreshed mask. So when I'm in that last segment, I don't heal until I'm in the last segment. So when I click it, it is going to give me pretty much a full heal anyway. It puts me into my overheal. Because I'm using Vigorous, the booster shot is going to give me the overheal. And you're shaving 2 seconds off the cooldown, 23.5 seconds, the same as the pulse. Okay, so your skills are coming back quick, and it's boosting my that weapon damage. Incredible, it's boosting it. It's crazy. So that's what I'm running with that. Then I am running the recovery link, because it procs itself. You know, when you're fighting and you're solo, it will proc itself. It will go off on its own, and it will get you out of trouble. So 352 seconds on the cooldown for that. But if you've got a secondary weapon with the talents on there to get your signature skill back quicker, then you can finish players off with your secondary weapon and get that back quicker. But I just don't do that. So now going into the talents, I do run critical save. So using a medkit during low health to increase damage resistance by 20% for 10 seconds. Helps you out. So when you're in low health, use a medkit, you get an extra 20% buff on your damage resistance. Then I am using Combat Medic. Now Combat Medic can be switched out. So when I'm on my own, Combat Medic doesn't really matter to me if I'm running solo. But half the time I do run in a team, half the time I run solo. I just never really switch them out. But you could switch that to maybe Triage, Precision, any of those. Any of those good things. Tac Advance if you like doing that. I don't really like doing that, but it's up to you. So Combat Medic is good for a team. On your own doesn't really matter. Then I've got Strike Back. Reach low health to reduce active skill cooldowns by 20%. So it's another 20% skill haste basically when you're at low health. So how can you complete that? 20 odd seconds is going to go down another 20%. So in about 14 seconds you'll get back. Then my last one, on the move. Because I'm always moving. When I'm shooting, I'm not standing still. I'm moving, I'm strafing, I'm moving slightly. And then it gives you that extra reduce incoming damage by 15% for 10 seconds. That procs as well. So that's the whole idea. You know, I'm always moving, I'm always shooting and moving. So give me as much of those buffs as you can get. So guys, that is the build. I know everyone's been after this build now for a little while, and I'm gladly giving it to you now, guys. If you do it, let me know in the comment below, and let me know what you think of the build. If you do anything different, let me know. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for watching my streams, guys. We're nearly at 4,000 subscribers, guys. This is absolutely incredible. I started this channel in July 2017, so just this July. I did not even imagine the amount of subscribers and the amount of love and the amount of donations and all that good stuff that you guys give me. It's fantastic. So keep it up, guys, and I will keep producing this content for you. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Enjoy the build. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this everywhere, guys. Share it on Twitter, Facebook, and everywhere you can. Take care, everyone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Talk it to 'em.